Failure. Just the word can make your chest feel tight. It's not really the loss itself that terrifies us, is it? It's what we think failure says about us, that we're not good enough. That quiet, nagging fear stops more dreams in their tracks than any actual defeat ever could. But what if I told you that centuries ago, two men, one a slave, the other an emperor, discovered a way to silence that fear for good? Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius lived in completely different worlds, yet they both stumbled upon the same life-changing truth. You can't fear failure when your inner peace no longer depends on outer success. Epictetus, born a slave, owned nothing. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, owned everything. Yet both realized that true freedom isn't about what you have, it's about what you control. Epictetus called this the dichotomy of control. It's a simple but powerful idea. Some things are up to us, and others are not. We can control our choices, our effort, our responses, but we can never, ever control the final outcome. The results, the applause, the promotions, they all live outside our direct reach. The fear of failure gets its grip on us when we forget this distinction. We start to fear the things we can't control. Think about it. You prepare for a big presentation, but instead of focusing on delivering it well, you fixate on how your boss or colleagues will judge you. You pour your heart into writing a book, but all you can think about are the reviews. You shift your focus from the act of creation to the hope of applause. That's the fertile ground where fear grows. Epictetus taught, it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. A setback isn't the wound, it's your interpretation of it that causes the pain. But when your effort, your integrity, and your character become your true measure of worth, fear loses its anger. Marcus Aurelius put this philosophy to the test every single day. He was leading the Roman Empire through war, plague, and political turmoil, yet he still managed to find a sense of inner calm. In his private journal, which we now know as Meditations, he wrote something profound. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think about that for a second. Every obstacle, every mistake, every failure could be a form of alchemy, a chance to turn hardship into wisdom and setbacks into strength. It's a concept that modern psychology is just now catching up with. We call it cognitive reframing, the practice of seeing problems differently to lower stress and build resilience. The Stoics weren't just talking about this 2,000 years ago. They were living it. They didn't just endure setbacks. They turned them into their greatest teachers. Picture this. A young entrepreneur pours every ounce of her energy and savings into a new startup. After 2 years, it collapses. She's left with debt, exhaustion, and a deep sense of shame. To the untrained mind, this is the definition of failure. But to a Stoic, this is an initiation. It's data. It's experience. It's a refinement of the process. What stands in the way becomes the way. The fall didn't end her journey. It just redrew the map for her next attempt, making it clearer and more informed. Epictetus lived this ideal in the most extreme way. When his cruel master was twisting his leg, he didn't panic or beg. He calmly said, "You are going to break it." And when the bone snapped, he simply added, "I told you so." The pain was real, but his inner serenity remained completely intact. He understood that his control ended at the limits of his own body, but his freedom, his attitude, his response remained untouched. The Stoic path isn't about avoiding pain. It's about outgrowing it. Today, most of us battle quieter, more subtle chains. It's the job we never apply for because we're afraid of rejection. It's the creative idea we never start because we think it won't be perfect. It's that little voice inside our heads that whispers, "It's better to be safe than sorry." That's not wisdom talking. That's fear guarding our ego, not protecting our life. Marcus Aurelius, from his throne, faced that same ego. He wrote, It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. To fear failure is to reject life's great experiment. It's to run away from the very process that forges our character and builds our virtue. So how do we start applying this powerful philosophy in our own lives right now? First, begin with what the Stoics called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It sounds grim, but it's incredibly practical. Take a moment to visualize your project failing. Imagine the money is gone, people disapprove, and your worst fears come true. Really feel that discomfort now, in your imagination, before it ever happens. Then ask yourself, what's left? You've got your breath, your body, your will. You're still here. When setbacks hit, they won't feel so scary. You've faced them in your mind. Focus on what's yours, your effort, your honesty. That's it. Anything else, like the outcome, is just a bonus. This mindset is key to keeping your peace of mind. Third, practice what the Stoics called amor fati, a love of fate. This isn't about being passive. It means not just accepting what happens, but learning to welcome it. You lose a job? Great. This is an unexpected opportunity for growth or a change in direction. You face rejection? Excellent. This clarifies your path and shows you where not to go. This isn't blind optimism. It's strategic surrender, using the winds of change instead of fighting against them. Modern science actually backs this up. Studies on resilience show that people who reframe failure as feedback not only recover faster, but also achieve greater long-term success. The obstacle truly is the way. Stoicism also reminds us that our emotions follow our focus. If you constantly stare at what might go wrong, you'll be paralyzed by fear. But if you focus on acting from your principles, on doing the right thing in this moment, courage will follow. A Stoic doesn't wait to feel brave before taking action. A Stoic acts bravely, and the feeling of bravery catches up. As Epictetus simply put it, don't explain your philosophy. You don't beat the fear of failure with big speeches or affirmations. You beat it by taking that small step you're dreading and aligning your actions with your values. So, when you face a setback like failing an exam, don't say, I'm a failure. Instead, say, okay, that happened. I can learn from this and act with integrity. Action replaces anxiety. Over time, your brain actually starts to rewire itself. Each calm, considered reaction strengthens your resilience, making your mind quieter and harder to break. You can't dodge failure and grow at the same time. They just don't mix. Sure, playing it safe feels cozy, but it keeps you small. It's the ones who stumble, get back up, and keep going who build real strength. So, when that fear whispers, what if I fall? Answer it like a Stoic. Then I'll learn to stand up again. Failure isn't permanent unless you stop learning from it. What feels like a loss often turns into wisdom. What hurts now becomes your strength later. Epictetus the slave and Marcus Aurelius the emperor both knew this. Control what you can, accept what you can't, and always act with integrity. Fear of failure fades when you live by your own principles. You stop worrying about success and start asking, am I doing what's right? That's where true courage begins, and failure loses its grip on you.